Good morning. So, I decided I want to start doing these daily videos, right? And it has to do with a program that I'm part of. It's a coaching program, and they actually recommend doing a live video every day, right? And I'll be honest and fully transparent. It has to do with business development and how to move your business to the next level in a very fast-paced digital environment where there's so much media to be consumed and everybody's using AI for everything and how to compete. And while there's a ton of great information there, I feel like there's also a lot missing. And the other thing is I'm a little unsure about doing a live video every day. So, but I have been giving it a lot of thought, not so much on the biz dev side of it and how to move both comprehensive fitness and Ileta to the next level, two businesses that I care very much about, and I am deeply involved in both. I just don't know the answer, right? And so, but what I do know is both of them are 100% about teaching and education and coaching and something that I hope I'm at least okay at, right? Like I try really hard to do well in those areas, and I just want to get better. And what's fascinating is I surround myself with people who see it the same way, right? And they're trying to do the same thing. And I think a lot of us struggle with a lot of the same stuff, right? As far as how to get better at the things we do. But for those that know me, and maybe there will be some people who meet me through this, and chances are the one or two people who watch this are maybe Jill. She might watch it, and a couple other people, but who knows? Somebody else might stumble across this. So anyway, my name is Joe Willis. I'm the owner of Comprehensive Fitness Coaching and the Deputy Executive Director for the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association. Again, both organizations fully invested in training and training development and inspiring excellence in training in one way or another. And so, what I really wanted to do with these morning coffees is just spend a few minutes recording a video, whether it's for prosperity or posterity. Posterity, is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Either way, whether it's just a log of these things for my own recollection or somebody finds value in them, is to take my meditations from the days, the thing that I've been thinking about for the previous day, and distill it down into something. And I take some notes here in my journal and pass them on. And it's something I've been toying with for several days before recording this first video. And so let's see how it goes. So comprehensive fitness is the crux of what I do. It is the long pole in the tent, as they say. It's what holds everything else up. And while if you know me and you spend a day with me, you'd see that the vast majority of my time is spent doing Ileta stuff. It's all based on a couple of really simple things that get me going throughout the day. The morning mindfulness practice, the physical fitness routine, and the information I consume is almost entirely in the comprehensive fitness space. And so, what is comprehensive fitness? Comprehensive fitness is a concept that is not unique to me. I totally wish I'd come up with it. The first time I heard of it was in the military, and the comprehensive fitness, total soldier fitness concept was a big thing, but it actually goes even deeper than that and has been studied in a variety of different ways, and there are different models of it. But when I was working on my master's program, I came up with the 9 domains of physical fitness, which was really an amalgamation of everybody else's versions. And so, the smartest people are the people who learn from others. And so hopefully that happened here. But what I learned was that there are 4 core domains to comprehensive fitness. That is physical fitness, which is, I think, to be honest with you, is where I've learned through both coaching, my own life experiences, and the research I've done to be the one point of entry that most people are familiar with, right? We realize that I've gained a couple pounds, or I'm a little achy when I move, or I've got this health condition I need to deal with, whatever it is. Most people enter the fitness space through that lens. They see it through that lens, or they enter through that portal. But that domain is really just one of 4 core domains. The emotional space is another one. So emotional fitness is, in my opinion and the opinion of many other researchers, to be equally trained and practiced as much as physical. And over the next series of videos, or if you follow any of my other stuff, you'll see that it is an equal quarter of the core 4. The other 2 are spiritual fitness, and that is much larger than the religion or faith. It is seeing ourselves as a part of a bigger system, the bigger world, and finding meaning in what we do. And it's also deeply connected to values-based decisions, alignment with our beliefs. There's a whole complexity of things there. That quarter of what we do often is what helps us decide in the moment between temptation of not following something we say we value or a belief we hold to be true, in pursuit of a easy luxury or some sort of an easy out, right? And that fourth one is intellectual, and that is something that today, it just seemed like yesterday, a lot of the things I was listening to, a lot of the research I've been doing lately kind of seems to fall into that space. And that may be because, again, a huge part of what I do is associated with ILEADA and law enforcement training and education. And as we look at the landscape of training and learning and occupational development, intellectual fitness is going to be one of those things that separates the workforce in time. And that's not to say that if you struggle like I do with a learning disability, that you're somehow less off. The reality is that there's opportunity here, and I cannot wait to have these conversations. And so sometimes I wish that when I was doing these, that maybe live is the way to do it, and I can get people interacting. I just don't have the setup out here. Literally, I'm at a Harvest Host in New York. I forget the Jamesville, New York right now. Jill and I are traveling across the country in an RV, and on our way to do some really great stuff on the East Coast, which I'll probably talk more about in the future. But I just don't have the setup here for a live. So anyway, back to the domains. You've got the core 4: physical, emotional, spiritual, and intellectual. Then you have the interpersonal domains. There are 3 of those. Those 3 domains are the social domain. Each one of us has this need for social connection. Well researched, well documented. There is a ton of information out there. And we can say that we're islands and we don't need this, but the reality is each one of us has a need for social interaction. And what that means is different to each of us, but I'm excited to explore that as we move forward. The second one that I want to talk about is family. And those are the deeply meaningful personal, interpersonal connections that are blood relatives and the family we choose, our spouses, and ultimately then our children, that sort of thing. But it's also the family that chooses us, our friends and the coworkers that we have these deep, meaningful relationships with that are beyond just social interaction. And then the final one, and I did kind of allude to it with the occupational space, is our occupational domain. And that is where we contribute value to the world around us. It's not just the work we do and the paycheck we collect or the contracts we sign. It is bigger than that. It is the space where we add value as human beings to the world, the work we do. And work is such an interesting term. Todd Henry, the guy who wrote the book The Accidental Creative and Die Empty and Herding Tigers, he talks about this in terms of, what work really is. And we often think of work as the thing we show up and punch a clock and check out, or at the end of the day, and every 2 weeks they give us money for it. It's bigger than that. And I'm excited to talk about that as well. And so the last two domains of the 9, I call them supporting domains, and it depends on whose research you look at and where you find these. But those 2 supporting domains are environmental and financial. And they are so intertwined in everything we do that it's really fascinating. And they almost sometimes, as I was working on this throughout the entire master's program and all the work I've done since, they have become the almost the foundation sometimes that the rest sits on. They are the things that enable or disable us at any given time. And they, for being supporting domains, these 2 ancillary thoughts, they're almost central to everything, and that is the environment. The environment is much larger and smaller than the world that we occupy. This beautiful space here, yes, obviously that's considered the environment, and very urban and industrial and all that. Those are environments as well, sure. But so is this device that I'm recording on here, right? That digital environment that we're in. The RV that's sitting right behind the camera here, that's an environment. The truck over there, that's an environment. The space literally that I'm sitting in right here in front of me. And each one of these, if you've ever heard me talk about cookies for breakfast, that is an environmental thing. Again, that's Chip Heath and Dan Heath wrote the book Switch, and it's at some point in it, I think it was them. I'm trying to remember now as I'm saying this out loud, but I'm pretty sure it was in the book Switch, where they talk about this concept of environmental design is why people will eat cookies instead of cereal for breakfast, because you store them in the same place, and it's easier to open the box of cookies and just take one while you're trying to figure out what you're going to have for breakfast. And so that is an environmental domain factor. And so anyway, we'll talk about the intentional design of environmental domains. And then lastly is financial. One of the things that, kind of shook me a little bit as I was doing the research was, do you know most Americans could not afford a $400 unexpected expense within one credit card billing cycle? That kind of was eye-opening, and to be honest, I've been there, right? So like when I read it, I didn't realize how common that was, but it is the case. And so financial fitness is an indicator and deeply connected to our emotional well-being, our spiritual well-being, how closely we align with our values, the spontaneity of our decisions based on impulse. And all of that is intellectual, that's spiritual, and to some extent even physical, and definitely emotional. And so with that, I'm not going to go into the meditations for this video. I may do a second one, but this one's already at 13 minutes, kind of going over what I want to do here. I'll probably post this one and then evolve it from there. I have no idea where the hell I'm going with all this. All I know right now is comprehensive fitness isn't just something I decided to write a couple papers on in college, or to to do a couple videos on because I think there's a passive income opportunity here. The reality is that this is so much bigger. It is deeply tied into everything I do. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about, and I want to share it. And so let's have the conversation. Let's do these. And then every morning, my intent is to come out here with a cup of coffee and have a chat. I don't know what I'm going to cover. Like I said, I mean, literally, I sat and I kind of did up some meditations here in the journal as far as the things I was contemplating for each of these. So my goal was to keep these videos to 15 minutes or less. I'm now at 14 minutes and 15 seconds roughly. So stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video, which may be today or tomorrow. Who knows?